bidiri manakanu atụghị nchekwa ọnụ ekelekwa nga ekele ọnụ dodoli sabọnụ kpọnụ m ekele ego mmụọ ka ibe enu ọkụzi egwebe m ndị ekwuribe anyị nụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ si na ngwụ wọbata obie na ngwụ wọbata obie gọbụletara anyị Biafra ka obi edere anyị nụ alụrụ egbu ome na ndị na-eme eme ife alụrụ egbu ome bụletara m Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmadụ odori ọkụ ife ịgbalụ n'akwa ka nna ya ogolo si gba elu nya ka obido ụmụ mmanụ agwa mmanụ afagharị tinye ịkpa m n'akpa metenarị n'ife ime m n'aka memenarị n'ife ịkpazie m n'ọnụ ma ekwu narị ihe n'okwu nu isi na ihe bịa convention kemgbe 29 Novemba na Latinu na-abatara Disemba 3 declare anyị Biafra anụ nwezi ka ime elu m ka obido ụmụ mmanụ afagharị isi n'ihu eze akpata n'obi onye a na-akpọ nwere ife ọ na-eme na-ezebata n'obi nwere ife ọ na-eme na-ezebata n'obi ụda adụ ife ife abịanụ ewetara anyị Biafra be anyị nụ oge adị anyị mmanụ anyị emerụ ka isi emeri ma mere anyị ka isi emenụ asị aka nnukwu akaebe akwa aka n'idodori mere anyị gịnị na na-akwa ya esoghị na asụsụ tie gị ikenụ isi na-egbe ebiri n'elu anyị edebe na ala anyị edebe n'elu onye si na ọ na-afọ anyị eme ya ọfụ n'anya anyị ọkwa isi na nwere ka isi kwado ori anyị eme ya ibe ha afụ n'anya nụ onye si na nke anyị na-eme ya adụ ma ya nwere ike tii na nke anyị onye si n'isi na ụwa ga-eji nke ewere na-acha nụ dodori ekelekwa ndị eke ụbọchị eke na-aga alụrụ ọfọ dodori ga-ekekere ya atụ iji flebe elu ma gba alụ nguzu ụbọchị ekenu ma nwa alụ ya edoko oge elu ụmụ ma nwa alụ oju bụ kọngochasịala ụnụ ụbọchịra acha nwere etiti dodori na-atọ n'ije anakụ ugo na mmiri mmanụ ugo na-atụ ugo alụ ụlọ eyi onye ka na-ada ka na gọlọ ụta bụ ụbọchị ekenu eke kee ikpe oke weta ife ọmarị ọdụ m ekelekwa gị n'okwu ekwe ego si na ọmaka ya emere unu na mkpụrụ ọgwụ ụlọ apụ apụ mkpata ọbata ya apụ apụ wee mkpa ahụ mmụọ na-apụ apụ mmụọ oge nnu si na agwa anụmokwu na afagharị kwamife ma agwa ike obi dị gị mgbe n'olu eri maka ịkpa m na ọkpa mejenarị unu ife ịkpa m na aka ma atụrụ ọbara ya arụghị ọbara tụrụ eri ife na-ekwu n'anya arị atụrụ so na ndị odi ndị aka na-anọrị ngwamele anyị gobido anyị mmanụ na Naijiria adọzi nwa ọnọdụ ori maka na mkpata si obodo afọ na manya natakwa rio mana ibulatara anyị Biafra na ọnọdụ ori dodo ọdụ na-ekelekwa alụ na eze agụtara obi ọnụm ekelekwa ego ọgbakọbalụ m na nwere mgbe ịgbalụ ndị zu ọsọ dodo ori na ha ma ifọdọgwu na-elu ha nụ iwe chiri medal atụlatara ha chara ịchọrọ ime ka ha fụ n'anya arị mgbe bunatara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmanụ bunatara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmanụ na-atụkwa n'azụ ụgbọ m ife oyimi na atọ n'oyi ihe merụ m ka obido ụmụ mmanụ enweghị ihe ọgụ n'okwu eyi sigụpụtara Biafra ka nwee n'onwe anyị dodo ori ekele n'ọlụ m na ndị ka anụ ebe o nyere ka igwe kwụsị ntụrụ ụlọ anyị eme ka a gwara anyị dodo ori otu ụlọ mmanụ tiri iwe zabata n'obi ịbata ka chi n'obi nụ ka ebụrụ mgbọrọgwụ na ụdị eyi ma meere anyị omeru oyi Finland be anyị o ndị lati onu m ekelekwa unu elezasa stọp onu m ekelekwa ego faụnda onu m ekelekwa ego adanda bụ na ndị ekele onu m ekelekwa ego achara ugo nwaanyị ọgba ngebe oyibo nụ onu m ekele egu n'okwu eyi nwakaba ka esi eme ọdịnala dodori ọnụ m ekelekwa unu donu ka ọnụ m kelekwala unu ka unu ha wee kpuchie ya onu m ekelekwa unu ndị muvin tren onu m ekelekwa unu lizin ọfisa n'obodo niile onu m ekelekwa unu ndị banyị nọ France onu m ekelekwa unu Germany onu m ekelekwa unu ndị obodo unu onu m ekelekwa unu onu m ekelekwa unu na-eme ka obidiri mana akanụ ọdụghị anyị nchekwa ọnụ ekelekwa nga ekele ọnụ dodori sabọnụ kpọnụ m ekele ego mmụọ ka ibe enu ọkụzi egwebe m ndị ekwuribe anyị nụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ si na ngwụ wọbata obie na ngwụ wọbata obie ma bụletara anyị Biafra ka obi edere anyị nụ alụrụ egbu ome na ndị na-eme eme ife alụrụ egbu ome bụletara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmadụ odori Abi fi bala na kwa kana yo no sigba ne le na ko bi tumu manu. Mala pali. Fini kam na ka metela ni fi même na ka me na ni fe. Ni pas je no me.
Ndewo. Onye kwuru ka na-eme ọgbata obi ya. Ihe kwuru ka na-eme. Onye ọwụ nna m. Ihe bụ agụ chụpụsịrị ndị zoo police na checkpoint na Biafra land.
Mmadụ ga-eme ya.
Mmadụ ga-eme ya.
O nwere ka ị ga-esi tigide ụmụazị ihe ofe ụbọchị ha kwụrụ kwechiri ọhịa anyị na-eme kịta.
Anyị kwechiri.
Anyị nụcha ọgụ a anywhere afọrọ ihe yiri ndị Biafra. Mgbe Usman Dan Fodio buru agha nke ya wee bata wee gbugide ndị ugwu wee gbuchie ha wee were ana ha sọnsọ that story ahụ akụkọ ahụ bụ ihe a na-akọrọ anyị akọgide aka ka Usman Dan Fodio si wee gbuchie ndị ugwu o wee bụzi ya datina onye sizi n'ugwu Awụsa wee pụta maa agụ ụra n'ala Igbo isisi agbakwana ejekwana dị ọgụ na ọ na-agbakwa daga maka ọrụ ihe a kọrọ anyị ndị a were egwu Igbo onye Awụsa maa agụ ụra ịgbachi ya nkịtị maka na ịma na ọ ga-ama gị daga mana ọ macha gị daga ahụ nwe ihe ị ga-eme ndị a wee were ụjọ wee jide anyị wee na-dagbuo onye ugwu mee gị ihe ịgbachi nkịtị ị na-edi ya mana onye nwanne gị bụ onye Igbo mee gị ihe o wee Biafra mee gị ihe isi ka egbuo ya nkịta nke echi maka na ịma na ọ naghị ama daga aga m agwa unu na daga anyị kịta abụrụzi against ndị Igbo daga anyị kịta bụ against ndị ahụ bịara ube anyị igbu anyị otu Usman Dan Fodio style anyị ga-ama ha ivu eva n'ụwa niile a daga niile ha malụ n'ugwu Awụsa anyị ga-amakarị ha nwasef ebe a ka anyị nọ amachazi ya ewerezi onwe ya we will now begin to idozi ana anyị dozie ana Igbo dozie ana Biafra ọ dịla anyị mma maka na ihe anyị na-achọ ka ọ dị onye ọbụla na mma ka ihe niile a na-eme na-aga aga onye nwere isi ọgụgụ ọ gụọ onye nwere isi eji alụpụta ihe o mee ya na-alụ ya na-afọ ya n'anya na-eme kọmpetishọn n'ọhịa ọhịa na-eme ka ụwa dị mma onye ọbụla na-egori ndewonu otu unu kwenu kedu ihe a na-akpọ ya sef
otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ
kwenu otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ kwenu
eziokwu bụ ndụ
Biafra kwezuonu
eziokwu amara
asị egwu nalọmetọ
nna m lee iji ya ọgbata obi iji ya odogwu nwoke ọ ga-adịrị gị na mma nna m ọgbata obi daalụ a sị na onye na-eme
ụbọchị taa ụbọchị gị ọbata obi ụmụ Igbo ya echiwe gị ọzọ today ikwete na ọ na-eme
ọbata obi daalụ nna m a sị na onye na-eme ka m si eme ka m na-akpọ ọyịm ọma nke bụ eziokwu bụ ndị izu ndị ha yiri anyị egwu kpọọ ya anyị ụjọ n'ahụ mana ịgwaghị eziokwu kamgbe ụmụazị m wee kweghị n'ụjọ ahụ that is why mbelecha anya like this obi aṅụrị na-akpa m ọ kachasị otu isi wee kwechikwuoro ebe ndị afọ nja nọ na-agwa ha eziokwu ọkwa ifuru sinsi iji agwa ha eziokwu ha anaghịzi abịa amanya anyị ụjọ ha na-amanya anyị bikos anyị ekwechirigo nna m daalụ nwoke ọma akwụ gị n'azụ ọma.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on today's program. We have come once again, as we always do, to preach the gospel of the restoration of Biafra. Wherever you are watching us from, I welcome you to this very moment. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please kindly subscribe, like, and share the program. Invite somebody to join us on this platform. Invite someone to join. Don't watch alone. As you are watching this very program, make sure you invite at least one person to join you on this program, because you are going to learn a lot. This is a platform where we educate the Biafran people. In this platform, we don't come here for blackmail, for propaganda, or to attack any individual or persons. We are focused on the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. That is our focus. Anybody that stands against the actualization of Biafra is our enemy. But as long as you are standing on the truth, speaking the truth always, we have no problem with you. However, you know you can fight for your own freedom and get it. Go ahead, fight for it. Our focus is freedom. Our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandegano said, if you know what you will do to bring Biafra, go ahead and do it. For us, we have found a way to get Biafra. Those of us that are under the government of Biafra today, we have found a way. We are steps ahead. We have discovered a way for us to secure the freedom of the Biafran people. Under the government of Biafra, on the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the Supreme Command of Mazen Nandegan. That is where we stand. We have discovered a trusted hand and a trusted way with a well-defined strategy. It is only somebody who is covered with envy, jealousy, and greed that will not fall behind the government of Biafra. But if you chose not to fall behind the government of Biafra, there is no problem. Go ahead. Pursue Biafra the way you know you can pursue it. If you get it before us, we will meet you in Biafra land. If we get it before you, we will equally meet in Biafra land. And when we get to Biafra land, the government of Biafra, the law of Biafra will decide who is right and who is wrong. And if there is any way or manner in which we have gone short, we are going to face the consequence. Likewise, you yourself. So wherever you are as a Biafran, be cautious of what you are doing. Anything you are doing today, be cautious. We have come again today, and today we chose a topic which says judgment against the enemies of Biafra. The judgment day have started. As Biafra, Republic of in Exile Prime Minister strengthens defense of Biafra land, the judgment day have started. And the Biafran defense is being strengthened by the government of Biafra. The government of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister for today, is strengthening the defense of Biafra land. Our defense must be strengthened. Our defense must be strengthened. And that is exactly what we are doing today. We are making sure that Biafra land is defended in all fronts. No amount of propaganda, no amount of blackmail, no amount of distraction will make us to fall behind. Never, ever. The Liberation Army of Biafra are too busy to be distracted. The Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Israel, is too busy to be distracted. And likewise, in the same manner, every one of us as Biafrans, we must be very, very busy not to be distracted. Don't allow anybody to distract you. It does not matter the propaganda, the blackmail. Don't allow them to distract you. Are they going to try? Of course they will try. Even as you're watching me, they are trying to distract us, but we will never be distracted. No matter their propaganda, no matter their blackmail, no matter their attack, wherever they are coming from, they can't stop them. my fellow Biafrans, we must tighten up our belts, and it is now. This is the time for us to tighten up our belts. Don't say you are not told. Do not say you are not warned. You have been told and you have been warned. Pay attention so that you will not be deceived. Let us listen to this very commercial before we continue.
Every day, you the president you working up your man. Say make a window to them. You win, you win, you win. You win, you win, you win. For Biafra. Raffle in Finland. In exile. Raffle Biafran Republic Government in exile present a fantastic raffle game. Biafran Freedom Raffle BFR is a raffle sales in support of Biafran Freedom, which will be drawn and prizes given at the declaration of the independent states of Biafra in Finland between November 29 to December 10, 2024. BFR is for everyone amazing. Raffle prize is $20. Total winning prize $10,000. First prize $5,000. Second prize $3,000. Third prize $2,000. For more information and to participate, click https://www.biafrarepublicgov.org/raffle. BFR is for 2 months only. Hurry up and buy raffle sales for Biafra Freedom today. Buy for your children and grandchildren. Buy for your relatives, friends. Do your part now, because when we give all our needed support, God crowns us with Biafra we long for. Good luck and happy win. Raffle. Every day, we need a president to go kick up your man. Say make a window to them. You win, you win, you win. You win, you win.
The Texas Liaison USA is welcoming our Obataobi, His Excellency Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, to the United States of America, USA, for a town hall meeting. Therefore, we're inviting all wonderful people of Biafra, friends of Biafrans, well-wishers, and all lovers of freedom to this great event. Yeehaw! We move!
For Biafra, Raffle Pro, BFR, Raffle Jingo. My people, follow who no road. His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoku, na him they carry us enter Biafra. He they play the show. No be lie, the good guy, Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government, in exile, went there for Obodo Yibo, Finland. With him government, na him they do the wonder. Say make you join, follow up, he go sweet you for body. Freedom today, better for you and your pikin them. I dey tell you, he can still bring ogbonge raffle draw with big money when you go win. I dey tell you, no be lie. Starting from on the 29th of November, go reach December 3rd. Now this thing they happen 2024. I make I shock you. The money, it makes sense well. $20 and total winning prize $10,000. First prize $5,000. Third prize $2,000. BFR. No sit down, no sit down. Look, na dog name. They want from here gather money to build Biafra, where you they cry for sins. You go also win too. No play.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for being able to join us on this very program today. I appreciate everyone that have been patient, joining us and supporting. May Chukwu Okukabiyama continue to guide and protect every one of you. My fellow Biafrans that are watching this program, wherever you are watching us from, I want you to understand that the defense of Biafra land has started. In building the defense of Biafra land, every hand must be on deck. For a very long time, we have been waiting for this moment. I could remember in those days, when we come online to speak, people will come and tell us they need action, that we should start doing something. They will come and tell us, talk, 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 no action. Today, that action have started. And we are not stepping back. The restoration of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is a very solid move. If others has been taking it as a joke, my beloved brothers and sisters, it is no longer a joke. As we speak, the Zoological Republic is receiving woto from all angles. And I want the whole world to understand. I want everybody in the zoo, every indigenous person, it doesn't matter your tribe, it does not matter your religion, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your tongue or location. I want you to understand that the Biafran people, the government of Biafra is not against you as an individual. No. The government of Biafra is not against any individual. The government of Biafra is only against the instruments of oppression against the Biafran people. The government of Biafra is against the institution that have enslaved the Biafran people and kept them down for many years. That is what we are up against. And we are trying to set ourselves free by fire, by force, unapologetically to anybody. We are not begging anybody to support us. We are not begging anybody to believe us. Our fate lies in our hands. And we want to get our freedom. Wherever you are watching this program from, I want you to understand that at this particular point in time, the only way forward is to restore Biafra. There is no negotiation that will stand except the restoration of Biafra. If you are an indigenous person in Nigeria, indigenous, I mean indigenous person, you should be concerned about your own people. Either you are from Arewa, you are from the Middle Belt, you are from Oduduwa land. You should be concerned about your own people. You should be concerned about your own people, how to secure your environment, how to secure your own people, how to make sure that your own people survive. Begin to build a government for your own people. Nigeria is over. The political elites, the criminals, the gangsters, the cabals who are holding the zoo down, they know it is over. And today they are stealing as much as they can because they know it is their last opportunity. That is why in the midst of the hunger, in the midst of the starvation, they don't care about you. They care about their own self. They are still siphoning money from the country. Even when there are little or nothing for the citizens, these cabals are still busy stealing. They are still busy siphoning money. And meanwhile, they are telling you that all is well. If you love yourself, begin to think about your own region. For some of you, the Afonjas. For some of you, the Ifajunas. The intellectuals who think that the Biafran people are their problem. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be very ashamed of yourself. The Biafran people are not your problem. We, the Biafran people, are not your problem. We have a problem and we are bringing solution to our problem to the table. We are pursuing to solve our problem permanently. We don't want the issue of massaging your problem. Just like our Supreme Amazon Nanegano always say, that you don't treat cancer. You do not maintain cancer. What you do is to cut it off. You cut it off. And that is what the Biafran people are doing. The project that the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has today with the Biafran government is to cut the cancer completely. We don't want to massage it. We don't want to treat it. We don't want to romance it. If you are not comfortable with our solution, good luck. Go and seek for your own solution on how to solve your problem. As for us, we have chosen our own solution, which is the permanent solution to solve the problem permanently. We have chosen that path. And by the special grace of Chukwu Kabiam, the whole world heard out and they heard out clear. Our situation in Nigeria cannot be remedied except we get out of the zoo. It is obvious. From the onset, we have seen this problem before now. We have found this solution even before now. Right from the time of our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, this solution of disintegration has been in the table. That was why, from the first instance, our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, asked for regional government. Our eternal leader asked for regional government, but the Zoological Republic refused. The zoo refused the regional government. Instead of them going along with the regional government, what did they do? They brought war upon us. They took the life of millions of Biafrans. And after this, they are now coming now to talk about restructuring. The same thing our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, asked for more than 50 years ago. And they said no. We have foresight more than any human being can ever have in that zoo. We are 1,000 miles ahead of every other people in that zoo. That is why when we start our movement, we don't look back. The Biafrans do not react easily. But whenever we make up our mind to take action and react, we are going to see to the end of it. Today, the persecution of the Biafran people, the lies, the blackmail, the propaganda has come to an end. It does not matter how you feel about it. Your propaganda and your blackmail cannot stop it. We are going home. Wherever you are as a Biafran, if you have not yet started supporting the Biafran government, you are the problem. Any Biafran that is not standing behind Mazi Simon Ekpa, you are the problem. Today, every single one of us know that the major problem that the enemies of Biafra has, the caliphate, the instruments, the institution that is keeping us enslaved, the only person they fear today is Mazi Simon Ekpa. When they hear his name, they are shaking. Go to their conventional media. Mazi Simon Ekpa have made their chief of army staff to become a media warrior. Mazi Simon Ekpa have dragged them out that they are no longer composed. They can no longer pretend. Today, every one of them is on the media. And the whole world today is focused on the zoo. The eyes of the whole world is on the zoo. My fellow Biafran that are watching, the hour of freedom has come. The time for us to be free is now. If you love yourself, if you love your people, you must join to restore Biafra. The Prime Minister have always opened his hand wide. The Prime Minister have always kept the door open. And he made it very clear. We are not fighting against any Biafran. We are not going against any innocent person. In fact, he gave an order that nobody should attack anybody, any Biafran. It doesn't matter whatever he's doing, pursuing the Biafran struggle in whichever way he will. Don't attack the person. Allow them, let them be. I was also a go mile. Bosinta, I show no worries. The most important thing is to pursue our restoration. The major enemy we have is that very instruments of oppression, this institution called Nigeria. That is our problem. And we want to make sure we end it. However, it is going to happen, so be it. As long as the zoo ends, that is the most important thing in our book. The instrument that is keeping us down. And if you make yourself an instrument in the hands of our enemies to keep us down, to distract us, if you make yourself available, you make yourself an instrument of oppression, well, you are not going to find it easy. You are not going to find it easy. You are going to face the consequence of your action. And whatever happens to you, you yourself will be responsible for it. Don't blame us. Do not blame us for what happens to you. Whatever happens to you, do not blame any one of us. Wherever you are watching this program from today, I want you to know that the struggle for the restoration of Biafra is not against any individual. It is against the institution that is oppressing us. The instruments they are using to oppress us, they are on different forms. They are of different religions, of different race, of different angles and countries. If you yourself that is watching me make yourself available as an instrument of oppression, sorry, your name is sorry, because we are going to treat you like the terrorists that you are. The defense of Biafra land have started, and we are increasing our defense. We will not stop until Biafra land is completely secured. From the way things are going, I bet you by the time Biafra declaration is going to happen, you will not find any uniformed man in Biafran territory. Every Nigerian uniformed person, if you are a Biafran and you are still serving with them, sorry. If you are a Biafran and you are serving the zoo in Biafran territory, you are wearing that uniform, carrying arms to come and fight your people, we are going to treat you like the terrorists that you are. Get it very straight. It is not about religion. It is not about race or tribe. It is about the instruments of oppression. Even if that instrument of oppression is my brother, you are going down. If the instruments of oppression is my sister, you are going down. Anything that represents the zoo in Biafran territory is an enemy. The Prime Minister have made it clear. And the Biafran people unanimously have come together and said that the Zoological Republic has no legitimacy in Biafran territory. Why then will you be serving under a government that doesn't have legitimacy in Biafran territory and you claim to be a Biafran? They have lost legitimacy. And when we say that the Biafrans have spoken, you think it's a joke. More than 50 million Biafrans casted their vote, and they gave their vote to Biafrans to exit the zoo. More than 50 million Biafrans. Still counting. The convention is coming up November, December. From 29th of November to the 3rd of December. It is going to be massive. During that convention, the final result of the self-referendum will be announced and the whole world will be shocked. Already, they are shaking. Already, all eyes is on Biafra. As we speak, all eyes in Biafra. Discussions are going. The zoo doesn't know what is coming. And of course, they know. That is why they are fighting tooth and nail. Biafra is going to start getting recognition as soon as possible. The recognition of Biafra is going to come in such a way that people will marvel. The lobbyists of Biafra in DC are doing a very great job. More especially Elias. We have had him several times hosting the Biafrans on Twitter, speaking to the world about the issue of Biafra, consulting for Biafra. That is where we are. Now they understand it is not an online country. Now those who thought it was a joke now understand it's not a joke. Those who think it's a Photoshop now understand we don't believe in Photoshop. What you see is what you get. The earlier you understand it, the better for you. But if you fail to understand, you are going to learn in a very hard way. If you don't understand, if you fail to pay attention, you will learn in a very, very hard way. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu, do not allow anybody to deceive you or distract you, because we are going home, regardless what they say. Let us go and check up on the updates that we have from the Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Exile. Let us see the update we have on his platform before we proceed. We must continue. Whatever the enemy is throwing at us, as they throw it, we will shake it off and we move on. Whatever they throw at us, we shake it off and we move on. My fellow Biafrans, you can see this update that is coming. It is very obvious that yesterday the Biafrans obeyed the Prime Minister. The Biafrans kept to their word. Anambra traders flout Soludo's order as market remain closed. Soludo doesn't have legitimacy in Biafra land, and he doesn't want to hear it. Soludo has no legitimacy in old Anambra State, and that is the truth. That is the obvious truth. He has no legitimacy. How can anybody obey him? When we say that the Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Exile, is in charge of Biafran territory, this is it. The whole world is watching, and the whole world is following up. After December 2nd, I pity any one of them that is going to come to Biafran territory. The zoo will continue to face their disgrace. They will always be disgraced, anytime, any day. They will always be disgraced. This is our convention coming with full force. The Biafra Convention is coming with full force. 29th of November to 3rd December. It is going to be massive. The whole world is going to be shocked on what is going to happen. The convention of the Biafran people. If you have not yet registered for the convention, please, you can still do that. If you are living in Europe, you have no excuse. There is no excuse you can give. Everybody living in Europe, except you don't have your documents. If you live in Europe, you have your documents, begin to make your reservation now. Start making your reservation. Finland is going to be shut down by Biafrans. This is a lifetime event. It is a lifetime event. Finland is going to be shut down. So every one of us, if you can be there, don't fail. Don't allow anybody to come and remind you. Do not allow anybody to remind you. Don't allow anybody to remind you that it's coming. The declaration of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra convention is coming. Biafra Declaration Sponsorship Committee and its members invite you to the Declaration Convention Mega Fundraising. Declaration Convention Mega Fundraising is coming up. Wherever we are, this fundraising is going to happen on October 20th, 2024. By 7 p.m. Biafran time, venue, Zoom meeting. As always, in preparation for our convention, you know it is going to cost money. Money stops nonsense and money makes things happen. You can't run away from it. Every success we made today is because of your contribution. That is why those successes have come. There will be a mega fundraising. Biafra Declaration Sponsorship Committee and its members invite you to Declaration Convention Mega Fundraising. It is going to happen on the 20th, 2024, 7 p.m. Biafra time. Coming Sunday. It's going to happen on Sunday. So begin to prepare yourself on this fundraising. Do not stay away from it. Make sure you make your contribution. Make sure you play a role for this fundraising. For us to defend Biafra land in this money, for us to succeed in the convention in this money. This convention, international media are going to be there to cover it. International media are going to be live there to cover it. It is not just the Biafra Republic of Malaysia media. International media are going to be there. So we need to prepare. In the preparation, the venue where the convention will be held in Lati is a very big place. There are a lot of responsibilities that falls on the government. They need your support. As I said before, there is no organization sponsoring the restoration of Biafra. No government sponsoring it. It is you and I. Through your little contribution, that is how we got this far. And through that, your little contribution, that is how we are going to succeed. Do not fail to be part of this fundraising. It is very, very important. Very, very important. As the zoo is sinking and collapsing, look at what their government is writing. This one is from Vanguard. It says, our patriotism is key to building a better country, not infrastructure. You see the idiotic people. Look at what their idiotic government is writing. And our prime minister said, I need a nuclear weapon to end this nonsense once and for all. Just imagine that their patriotism is key to building a better country, not infrastructure. Can you believe these people? Now you understand why they take your money and put it in their pockets. They don't care whether you have lights or you don't have. They don't care whether you have road or you don't have. They do not care whether your children are educated or not. They don't care. And ask me, where is that patriotism when you cannot provide what the people need? What is patriotism? Patriotic to what? And by the way, which of them is patriotic to that zoo? There is so much talk about patriotism. None of them, starting from Obasanjo, Gowon, and co., none of them is patriotic to this zoological republic. They are not. All they are there is to enslave, exhaust themselves, and make themselves whatever they want. As we speak, The Black Marine are making progress. They are making progress, huge progress in Bakassi. You know, Bakassi is our land that the Zoological Republic took and gave to the idiotic Cameroon. And we said, no, Cameroon cannot take it. It is our land. And today they are receiving woto woto. The Cameroon soldiers are receiving woto woto in Bakassi. It is our land and we cannot cede it to anybody. Look at what they are writing in their own news. They said, a CNA source in Bakassi says the divisional officer of Idabato Ewane, Roland, and a council staff were kidnapped by a group from Nigeria called Dragon Fighters Marine. The source noted that separatists advocating for the independence of Biafra may be connected with the kidnap after one of their leaders said the kidnappers were not pirates and were simply fighting against criminals in their land. Idiotic people. And our prime minister responded and said, follow me, read report. Oh, these people are heavily drunk. Of course they are. They are. You occupy our land and you think we will keep quiet and watch you. We will not. Not with the Biafrans. We will give you woto woto until you leave our land. That's the zoo. My fellow Biafrans, the restoration of independent state of Biafra is something that will definitely happen. It does not matter the propaganda and blackmail they push. No matter where they push it from, we will definitely destroy and decimate it. Our freedom is coming. And no man born of a woman will stop our freedom. No idiot from anywhere will stop our freedom. Biafrans must be free because we are freeborn and we cannot allow anybody to treat us less. We are freeborn and we cannot accept anything less. My fellow Biafrans that are watching this program, I want to take you back to memory lane. Let us listen to this very short clip I'm about to play. I'm going to play some clip. Let us pay attention to this clip. You are going to learn a lot from it. Nigeria is irredeemable. The evil of Nigeria is foundational. The systemic problem of Nigeria is foundational and can never ever be sorted out except you destroy the Zoological Republic and every region will build a new place. If you don't build a new status quo, Nigeria will never get, it will get worse. And it will get to a time that even this one Nigerianist will not have a place to stand. They should be thanking the Biafran people because we are ending the zoo. I want you to listen to this very program by Okilo. Let us play it for a while and listen carefully what he has to say. Let's go.
From the discourse so far, it is clear that Nigeria's foundation was laid on ethnic suspicion. And it pits the North against the South, even to this moment. It was pursued in the interest of the colonialists. But what about us? Why can't we redefine it? After October 1st, 1960, Nigeria was expected to rally its people, draft policies geared towards development, but it began to fall into the traditional frontiers that divides it. The frontiers are ethnic, religious rivalries, nepotism, corruption, injustice, and human rights violations. These are sub-themes of the national question. By this, a state divided against itself was born, culminating in the Nigerian Civil War that was fought from 1967 to 1970. There are some interesting articles I want you to read. If you can find them, just Google them. You can Google some of the works of Ali Mazrui and Kirk Green. They did a work together. In that work, Ali Mazrui and Kirk Green, when I'm talking about, okay, Ali Mazrui wrote his and Kirk Green wrote his. This was not a combined work. But they made similar arguments. That's the point I want to make. Similar argument. And the argument is that by preserving under Nigeria's majority, size, and by giving them the advantage of population, Britain contributed to the forces that culminated in the Nigerian Civil War.
I hope you're listening.
This deepening regionalism and the contradictions in the regional system constituted the most damaging legacy of colonial rule.
Absolutely.
Sherwood Smith, in his 1969 writing, insists that the British had no choice but to maintain the North's decisive numerical advantage, as it was the sole defense against political and economic domination by the South. The South was more educated. They were more aggressive. Awolowo was very smart. So if you now gave the South power again, the North will be taken out. That was the argument. You know, by 1900, you had Yoruba lawyers. Igbo men were already having PhDs by 1920-25, but not the North. So you could see that those who even fought for Nigeria's independence were mostly from Igbo land and Yoruba land.
Absolutely. That is a fact.
So Sherwood makes that point in that article. Now, I want you to listen to this analysis made by Odia Ofemu, the author of the book Taking Nigeria Seriously. Odia Ofemu, in a conference in Ibadan, explained the political intrigues of the early 1960s in Nigeria. Let's go back to that time as we round off.
Before 1960, Nigeria was quite a conglomerate. We knew which area was where. We had homelands, and people defended their homelands in various ways. We wondered how the homelands could become cross-cutting environments for the defense of our freedom. But that period passed, and the competition between the homelands became the core value and core reality of our politics. It is always good never to forget that it is the centrality of that competition to the Nigerian force field that has ensured nothing else will work here. Because the nature of the morganatic marriage, the kind of lopsided marriage that was built for Nigeria, ensured that we would never have a level playing field unless we created it. If there was a geographical expression, we needed to set out what would turn that geographical expression into a cultural expression. Awolowo did attempt it to spell out what needed to be done for the geography to become a cultural expression. But because he was usually beaten out of it, either by his opponents or by internal fractions within his own party, what needed to be done always overreached the rest of us. We never managed to hold on to it. I want us never to forget that at independence, it was a struggle between three regions, each dominated by a major ethnic group that organized a major political party. And each had an opposition that was based on a minority seeking freedom for themselves within the freedom that the rest of Nigeria was angling for. It is important that we never forget this. And the resolution that came was 2 of the 3 regions banding together to determine how the 3rd would be excluded. People have forgotten what actually happened. And when you read the books, it is not played up enough. The point is, the NCNC Igbo fraction was told, if you form a coalition with the action group, you will be struggling with people who already have everything that you have. It will be a great struggle. So why not build up your coalition with the North so that you can take all the jobs that the North would not have the manpower to cover? And that was a perfect arrangement. If you follow Chinua Achebe's book, There Was a Country, he actually talks very glowingly about how the Igbo people became dominant. It became dominant because as a result of that agreement they reached, the Igbo people could take over all the jobs in the system. And they did. But by 1964, they discovered that the iron and steel industry, military installations, the railway extensions, the Kainji Dam, and then the steel industry, which had already been slated for Onitsha, now became something that would go again to the North. It was at that point that an election took place in 1964, and Nnamdi Azikiwe refused to call Balewa to form a government. And it was on the day that this was properly exposed that Ojukwu first went to Nnamdi Azikiwe in 1964 to say, let's plan a coup. Zik was too frightened of a coup, and he ran away. But Balewa had taken the line that would become the determinant of all other things. He simply sent the soldiers to seize the state house and put the president under custody. When Nigeria's story is being told, nobody tells the story so well as to let us know that that was the first military coup in Nigeria's history. When Nnamdi Azikiwe, after having published a speech in his own West African parliament saying, I won't invite you to form a government, decided to write another before evening, calling them to form a government. If you are thinking of how to deal with the Buhari situation, just remember, the unitarism that came after the coup was from an NCNC script. The unitarism that displaced the NCNC script was an Arewa script. What the Arewa people have tried to do ever since is not only to take over the country, but to change the society in such a manner that becomes malleable in their interest.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Interesting analysis by Odiao Femu, a political scientist, a great poet. Yes, I enjoyed that analysis. Did you enjoy it? Are you enjoying this class of politics and power? Let's get your feedback. Let's get your feedback. Tell us what you feel about the class. Make your suggestions. Now, let me go further to break down some of the points that Odiao Femu made in that speech. What Odiao Femu referred to as the first coup in Nigeria was the failure of Nnamdi Azikiwe to rally the military to his side during the 1964 election crisis. In the battle of supremacy with the Prime Minister, Tafawa Balewa, Zik had thought that as the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces, that the military would take orders from him. But this was not to be, as the then colonial head of the army, Major General Welby Everett, was legally advised to take the side of Tafawa Balewa, forcing Zik to renege on his well-published stance that he will not call on Balewa to form a new government after the severely flawed 1964 election. In that speech by Odia Ofemu, you heard that Balewa ordered the army to arrest Zik. It was a house arrest. He couldn't come out, and he was forced to write another letter to say, okay, I will now call a government. I want to read from a book. That's the last book we'll be reading for this edition of the program. I want to read from this book, Emeka. Emeka is Ojuku's first name. Emeka. I want to read from this book. Emeka Ojuku. This book is written by Frederick Forsyth. It is one of the best biographies on Odumegwu Ojukwu. So let's read from page 40 to 42. It's about the same story. Frederick Forsyth says Nigeria's president was by then an Easterner of NCNC party. Although a non-executive president, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was also holder of the title of Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. But the democratically elected government was of the MPC, headed by Alhaji Tafawa Balewa, under whom the defense minister was Alhaji Ribadu. In the event of a political crisis and in the event of conflicting orders from the president and the prime minister, whom should the army obey? Forsyth asked in the book. No one knew, he says. No one had the faintest idea, he continues. No one had ever thought of it before. They agreed that Emeka Ojukwu should find out exactly where they all stood, and as quickly as possible. Ojukwu resolved to consult the British general officer commanding, General Welby Everard. At this time, Ironsi was not the leader of Nigeria's army. It was when Everard led that he handed over to Ironsi. Frederick Forsyth in this book said, but before Ojukwu could do so, Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon, who had attended the meeting and said nothing, eager as ever to seek favor with the British, something that still continues today, had run to General Welby Everard with a story that Emeka Ojukwu was holding political meetings. Can you see this? Gowon was in that meeting when Ojukwu was sent to go and ask Everard, who would the army obey? But before Ojukwu could get to go where Everard, Gowon had run to go and say, see, Ojukwu had called a political meeting, he's planning something. Now, why, you would say, human being and conflict. Okay, let's continue reading.
Gowon has always been a betrayer.
So the general summoned Ojukwu and asked him what he was up to. Emeka replied that he would be delighted to explain, but that he wanted the same group of officers he had already spoken to be present at the meeting. The general agreed, and the officers were summoned. Emeka Ojukwu went through it all again. When he had finished, General Welby Everard was lost in thought. You are right, he said to Ojukwu. I don't know the answer. It never occurred to me. But why didn't you come to me first? Ojukwu replied, because this is a Nigerian affair, and you are a British officer first. If the worst comes to the worst, the British High Commission may order you to stand aside. That would leave us not knowing which way to go. We have to know. Welby Everard admitted that if ordered to stand aside, he would obey his British orders and do so. He promised the officers he would consult the country's senior legal officer, the Attorney General, for a ruling. Then he rounded on Gowon and ticked him off for spreading alarmist rumors. As they left the meeting, Ojukwu asked Gowon why he had considered it fit to go running to the general with his tales. Gowon mumbled
Gowon
that
has
he was
always been a
sorry,
betrayer.
but he did not understood what Emeka was talking about. Jack, Ojukwu used to call Gowon Jack. Even in Aburi, he called him Jack. So Ojukwu said, Jack, the next time I say something that you don't understand, would you mind coming to me to ask first? So the general consulted the Attorney General and got the ruling. It was clear, in the event of conflict, the officer corps should obey the democratically elected political leader of the country, the Prime Minister, or his subordinate, the Defense Minister. Remember, I'm reading from the book Emeka, written by Frederick Forsyth. It's the biography of Emeka Odumegu Ojukwu. Frederick Forsyth is a British journalist. Yes, as I conclude, it was clear, in the event of conflict, the officer corps should obey the democratically elected political leader of the country, the Prime Minister, or his subordinate, the Defense Minister. The worst did not come to pass that winter of 1964, but it did 14 months later, in January 1966, with the president out of the country, the Prime Minister dead, but his body not discovered, and the Defense Minister unable to be found. General Nronsi, in those confused days, followed the ruling of 1964 by consulting the most senior ranking minister, Alhaji Deep Charima. So let's leave that story at that point. You can get this book on udarabooks.com. Look at it. Emeka, classic. Get some books and read. Do we still have libraries? These books should be in our libraries so that we can read
They will not allow
and
it
understand where we are coming from. So having read the story from Emeka, you find this book on udarabooks.com. udarabooks.com. And you can also get them or get the book through our WhatsApp numbers. The numbers are on the screen. So contact us on WhatsApp.
Thank you, Edmond Okilo. Some of these informations are very important. Sometimes I get these videos to play for you to understand the rottenness of the zoo. When we say the zoo is irredeemable, you begin to understand it gradually. You see how Gowon have always been a betrayer right from time, seeking for favor, seeking for recognition. That was why he jumped over to become a president, even when there were senior officers ahead of him. And you see him writing some stories that he was forced, he was pushed. He has always been a gawad, an informant at every given instances. You saw how the British created a false narrative. Every single thing in Nigeria is lies, lies, lies. My fellow Biafrans, every one of you must prepare to go home. It is time for us to go, and no man born of a woman will stop us from leaving the zoo. Wherever you are today, always begin to think what you are going to do to be free from the Zoological Republic. Support the Biafran government the best way you can. Don't look back. Don't get distracted. Don't allow anybody to tell you anything apart from the fact that you must get out of the zoo. We are already on our way out, and there is no going back. Any attempt to go back is a suicide mission, and we must continue to move ahead until we walk out of the zoo. Let's hear this from our Prime Minister.
My fellow Biafrans in Australia and beyond, we met with the most senior members of the United States Congress. We met with the most senior members of the US government, including the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson, the third highest official of the US government, the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Michael McCall, and a plethora of members of Congress. These members are now well educated about Biafra. It has never happened in the history of Biafra and Nigeria. We are closely working after being briefed, after educating these people, decision makers. We are now closely working with them to form a new Biafra policy for the US government. The foundation for the liberation and independence of Biafra has been laid by this government, and it is very, very strong. We build this particular foundation of the liberation on solid rock. Are you not seeing it? We are not shaking. I am standing very, very strong, making sure that I'm taking the bullet that they are firing at Biafra people, because their target is you. They believe that once they take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out of the way, they will come for all of you. That is exactly what is happening in other parts of Nigeria, because nobody is there to stand on the way for them. And they are annihilating people, killing them, sending them to IDP camp. I told them, you see this face, okay, deceive very well. To deceive you. The momentum of the Biafra liberation today have necessitated all the discussion you see. Everybody is talking. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why are they keeping him? Some of them claim that he was not fighting the way I'm fighting, but you kidnap him. Some of them are now addressing him as a gentleman, but you went and they kidnapped a gentleman. They say, oh, he's more reasonable. He's not, but you kidnap him. What were you thinking? All of them contributed money. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was speaking, it was their headache. They couldn't sleep every day. Oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he's destroying Ali Igbo. Oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he's doing this, he's doing that. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer destroying Ali Igbo. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer causing problem. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer is the good man. Is the only man now that is very reasonable. And I have not even started. Because you see what Agaku Nigeria Igwe. Agaku Nigeria Igwe. And you know the next level is by taking all their terrorist barracks, taking all the government houses. That is the next level we will go, because it is part of the defense of our land. These places are places where the attack against our people are being planned.
Thank you so much for joining me on this very episode of this program. We are going to continue this program again tomorrow. Please, wherever you are, continue to support the liberation of Biafra. Make your contributions. Pray for our Prime Minister. Pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for sustenance, for strength until we get to the promised land. Thank you so much, wherever you are joining me. If you have not yet shared this program, please share this program. Like and share. Invite people to this program and make sure that this information continues to go across the whole world. We must not be silent. It is time for us to be free, and freedom is our portion. Thank you for being part of the program. We will see again tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu Kabiam. Thank you and stay safe.
The Texas Liaison USA is welcoming our Obataobi, His Excellency Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, to the United States of America, USA, for a town hall meeting. Therefore, we're inviting all wonderful people of Biafra, friends of Biafrans, well-wishers, and all lovers of freedom to this great event. Yeehaw! We move!
For Biafra, Raffle draw. BFR, Raffle Jingo, my people, follow who no road. His Excellency Simon Ekpanjoku, na him they carry us enter Biafra. He dey play the show, no be lie. The good guy, Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government, in exile, went there for Obodo Yibo, Finland. With him government, na him they do the wonder. Say make you join, follow up, he go sweet you for body. Freedom today, better for you. And your picking them, I dey tell you, he can still bring ogbonge raffle draw with big money when you go win. I dey tell you, no be lie. Starting from on the 29th of November, go reach December 3rd. Now this thing dey happen 2024. And make I shock you, the money, it makes sense well. $20 and total winning prize $10,000. A first prize $5,000, third prize $2,000. BFR, no sit down, no sit down. Look, na dog name. They want from here gather money to build Biafra, where you they cry for sins. You go also win too, no play.
Manakano, what do I take on? I can go and get on. Someone upon making a what you been. How could you with them? What about the choir? What make it a choir? What make it a choir? It's not good about Tobia, not good about Tobia, but let's have a flack of the line. I will go there. Angela made me say, I will go there. Brother, Biafra go be do mama dodo. I think people na kwa kana yo no sit down. Ele nya go be do mama no. Oh yeah, yeah. Mama fali. Tini kamna ka metela ri ni fi mem na ka mem na ri ni fe. Ipazie no no meku na ri no kunu. It's not your convention came 29 November na Latino. Na botela December 3rd declare right Biafra no. Nwesi ki melu go be do mama na fali. Itini we sa pata no bi. Onya na akpọ we di phone eme. Na azabata no bi we di phone eme. Na azabata no bi da dum. Ifi fa bia no. O tera bia fra ba no. O jade aye manu. Aye me ki se meri ma me na ka se menu. Asa ka mu pa ke ba kwa aka ni do do. Me na ki na na kwa ye so na so tie gi kenu. Iti na kwa bi na ye de na ye de be na. Onye si na da fa ye me yo fu na anya ni. O pe si na we ka si pa do ri. Aye me yi be ha fu na ya no. Aya si na ka na ma ya do ma ye wo ri ti na ka no. Aya si ni si na wa je ji nke wa na aja no. Do do ye kere kwa ge tu ko ti eke. Na ga lu wa fo do do. Aya ti fere ya ti fere be lu. Baba nu go ko ti eke nu. Mama lu ye de ko de lu nu. Ma wa lu ju ko ko cha ta lo nu. Asi ni ko cha cha le ti do do. Na ta ni cha na ku go. Abi ma lu go na tu ga lu na. Aya ta na ka na go lo ta ko ti eke nu. Keke ibe. Oke we ti fo mari. Ko na kere kwa ki lo. Nde maka di nu na. Kere ko egu. No mo maka ye melu nu. Na fu o ya apu. Bata ya apu. Awe pa mo na apu mo go nu. Sina gwa lu mo ku da fa ri. Pa mi pa ma gwa iko bi digi ma no du eri. Maka iba no pa ko na ri uni fe. Iba mo na pa ma tu lo ma. Ya lu ba na tu lo ri fi se na ku na nya ri. Ati ni so na do di. Nda kara no ri. Nga me la iko bi da ye manu. Na Nigeria do so na do do. Maka na maka na se ko na pa na ba ya ta pe yo. Ma ni bu na ta la ya pa na do do do. Ye melu ko bi do mo manu. We yo no kwe. Sigi pita da Biafra ka we no wan do do.
Oh yeah, me.
Na kana no mo na de ka no. E ba nyal ki go ku sa tolu no. Aye me ka gwara you do do.
Ndo na.
Ko tu no. Ado se ko ba no. Sigi we ta ba ka no bi o. Sigi ba ta ka chi no bi no. Ke bu no mbora mbora no bi ayi. Ba me la yo me lo.
Ndo.
Finland ba yo. Ngelachi onu mekene kuno NSS stop onu mekene kwego founder onu mekene kwego adanda kuna ndekene onu mekene kwego achaluga wanyo oba ngebo oyibonu onu mekene no kwe
ndo na
Ndewo.
ndo ya gazie
onu mekene wakabate tie modula na dodo onu mekene kunu don
ndo na ndo ya gazie
onu mekene kwoluno kono ha we kuchie ya onu mekene kunu ndị moving train onu mekene kunu leasing officer n'obodo niile onu mekene kunu ndị banyere na France onu mekene kunu Germany onu mekene kunu ndị obodo onu mekene kunu
Ndewo.
onu mekene kunu
ndewo